Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is May 20th, 2016. My name is Lynn and I'm your host. Welcome to FiberCast, where it's all about what we can get done in the next 60 minutes. So grab a project and let's work together. As you can see, I am on the road again. I'm here in New Jersey in a town called Eatontown. And it's very close to the ocean, and it's beautiful, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. But first I want to show you what I'm working on tonight. And I'm here in my hotel room, as you can see. And I think last week I shared with you the beginnings of this vintage pot holder, which is kind of has funny coloring. It has the red flower, and then the rose flower, and two yellow flowers. And then I've done the two backings, so two triangles, very tightly crocheted. And now I'm literally crocheting it together with a red scallop. And I thought that's what I would do here remotely. I'd catch up with you, see how you all are doing. Send me pictures of what you're working on, as always, to lmarquidant@gmail.com. I'd love to see what you're working on. And one other thing. This pattern is free on a vintage pattern site. I wanted to tell you about that and tell you what number. So it's http://freevintagecrochet.com. And the floral pot holder pattern number 9470. So that's what we're doing. Now hopefully this, once we put it in the washing machine, once we finish it, tie up all the loose ends and then put it in the washing machine, hopefully it'll shrink up enough so that there won't be any big holes, and it really can be used for a pot holder. As we know from Mom out there and from reading, a lot of these vintage pot holders really weren't very good because they either had holes, or because they're cotton, they really steamed up and they could, when they were wet, and they weren't used all that often. They were more decorative. So, anywho, it is fun to crochet with this. This is number 3. Just as a reminder, let's see, tell you which kind it is. This is Aunt Lydia's Fashion 3. And it's a good weight, all cotton. And it's amazing, I'm surprised at how much of this you use, which I shouldn't be. I'm learning that crocheting does take a lot of this fiber. But you can get maybe one pot holder out of one of these. So if you get 3 of them and you mix up the colors, you can get about 3 pot holders, if that makes sense. So, so much to tell everyone. Let's see. So just while I keep crocheting here, it is 10 double crochets in the corners, then you skip 3 double crochets and you do a single crochet, then you skip 3 double crochets and you do 6 to make the scallop, then a single, then 6, then a single, then 6, single, and now I'm doing 6. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So there's 1. And this is a double crochet, so I wrap it around my hook once, put it in the hole, pull it through 2 loops, pull it through 2 loops. Let me do that again, just for kicks. So I have you're going to look at me mirror-wise. I have my hook, I wrap the thread around it once, I put the hook in the hole. I grab the thread and I pull it through the hole. Now I have 3 loops on my hook, and I literally am going to pull the thread through 2 of them and then through 2 again. So I'll show you. I'll pull it through 2, and then I have 2 left, and now I pull it through again. So let me do that again. I wrap thread around the hook, put it in the hole, grab the thread. Now I have 3. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm trying. Now I pull it through 2, stop, pull it through 2 more again. And I do that 6 times to make the scallop. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 more, and 6. And it's that easy. And then I count 3 over, 2, 3, and go in both sides, and I do a single. And then go in here. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, excuse me. I still have allergies, everyone. Do you all have allergies? Oh, hopefully you're finding relief with some allergy medicine. I know I am. I've tried Claritin. That seems to be working. And hopefully the allergies will be gone soon. I have to tell you, I'm here in northern New Jersey, right on the Jersey Shore. So for the first time in my life that I can remember, I'm here on the Jersey Shore, and it's beautiful. And the drive down from Boston, I came down yesterday, was beautiful. It took me about 5 hours. I went straight through from Hopkinton, and I went west on Route 90, then I took 84 down through Hartford, and I took it right through the city. I went over the Washington Bridge, and it was beautiful. I saw the New York City skyline, I saw the Newark skyline, and then I got to the Jersey Shore, and I was pretty proud of myself that I did it, and it was beautiful. And I hear beeping. Who's out there? Hey, Jean! Hi, Jean! She says, got to my hotel room at 7:58 just in time. Oh, wonderful. Graduation must be tomorrow. Is that true? I hope you're having a great time, and how cool that you're watching this in a hotel room too. You're in Pennsylvania, right? That is so great. Who else is out there? Jean! Congratulations to your whole family, and especially to Maddie for graduating from college. That is awesome. Oh, and I want to welcome Eileen. Or is it, yeah, Eileen Aroon. Hi. Eileen says she just discovered us, and she said she'll be joining us on Friday. So glad to have you on board. FiberCast is just all about us getting together and working on something, because we always say it's amazing what we can get done together in 60 minutes. I know I have gotten more done in the 60 minutes since we've been doing this than ever before. So welcome. And that's a riot, Jean, that you're in a hotel room. And I have lots of other things to share with everyone. Let me go around my first corner here. Okay. So Jean, what I did today, I think you might be interested in, or I know you'll be interested in, but you probably already know all about it. I went to a thing called New Jersey Education Innovation Summit. And they said there were 30 school superintendents from across the state. And the discussion was all around innovating with technology to improve the way students learn, and ultimately to prepare them better for a better life, for making a living when they grow up, for contributing to a better world. I mean, it was that altruistic, the focus of this. The session was actually at the Monmouth University, which I had not been familiar with, is a beautiful private university. If you haven't checked it out, check it out, Monmouth, M-O-N-M-O-U-T-H. Come to find out, Wilson Hall was actually the summer residence of President Wilson. And they still have it here, and it has just grown over the years. The facilities are immaculate. We actually met in what they call the MAC facility, which is the academic facility, sort of in the center of the campus, that had the basketball court was in there, as well as the pool, as well as the indoor track, the fitness center. And we actually sat down on the parquet floor of this NCAA basketball court, which was really cool. And we actually watched the presentations from the center scoreboard, in addition to other places. So it was really fun. They even had a panel of kids, 6th graders, 8th graders, 12th graders, who got up there and talked about, now these children, all they've ever known in education is having a device, at least the sixth graders. The 12th graders, of course, they knew a time when 5 years ago there were big signs on our school buildings that say, don't bring in your device. And so it was very unnatural to bring the kids in. They'd have to sit there and be taught at and thrown knowledge, and then when they left, they would reconnect. Whereas the recognition is that our kids live in a digital universe now, and their knowledge is here. Teachers no longer are about imparting knowledge. Instead, it's about teaching the students how to make sense of the knowledge and create and innovate and make things, which they talked about the maker movement, which we talked about last week. And it was funny, one of the superintendents in a panel, he said, you know, this maker thing is getting out of hand, and it's the newest buzzword, which it is. And he said what he didn't want just a new name on craft fairs, which I found very funny. And he's right. He said he wanted the maker movement to be about applying knowledge, hands-on experience, making things, technology, all for the purpose of enabling something better, which actually crafts do in a way, but he wanted to make it a point that maker fairs aren't just craft fairs. So I thought that was funny. And I'm still learning more about it. Anywho, New Jersey Innovates. It was put on by a combination of the New Jersey Department of Education and the Learning Council. And it was good. We learned a lot. There were a lot of application vendors who are building learning modules. In fact, there was one called Waggle, and it only had started 2 years ago. I'm not sure why it's called Waggle, but they literally, they have gamification, so part of the learning is built in there, more games than other things. And you can unlock chits like games, and it literally, you could unlock flying pigs. As in, things are very creative. Amazon was there. There must have been 30 app developers. Hey, Ben Cabot. Hi, Ben. Hi. How nice that you're out there. And that reminds me, happy birthday to my mother. It's her birthday weekend. Hi, Mom. Happy birthday. I'm sorry I won't be there in person, but we'll be there in spirit, and we have heard through the grapevine that you are going to be well taken care of. Ben reminded me of that. And if Violet's there, hi, Violet. Hi, Reed. Hi, Nicole. Oh, how fun. Okay, let's see. So now I'm on the corner, so I have to do 10 of these. Ooh, it's going to get all tangled up. I tied these up ahead of time. So you can see my scallops are a little bit bunched up here, but that'll be okay. Let's round this corner and get around to corner 2. So, when I got here yesterday, and for those of you who are from New Jersey and down here all the time, you live in a beautiful part of the world. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm sorry about going on and on. I took a drive out to the ocean, and I couldn't believe all the big houses down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're near Asbury Park. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And near a town called Ocean. 7, 8. 9. One more in the corner. We have to round the corner. It gets really full. Oops. Okay, we're getting there. Okay. And I have a trick on my scissors that I've discovered. You know how I have lots of pairs of scissors? Well, I've designated one for working with when I'm working with yarn. And what I've done is I tie my needles to it. I had that one, and then I have the smaller one for my number 3 crochet yarn. And that way it's always with me. It's a little unwieldy when I'm working with it, but at least it's always there whenever I need it to tie my ends in. My newest thing. Okay, so let's keep going around. There's one. And this will look a little wonky. It always does. And just, it's amazing when you actually put it in the water, it does square itself up. And you block it afterwards, which makes it, you can help it square up. Oh, I ran into all sorts of prom goers here. Actually, across the hall at the Sheraton. And they all looked beautiful, and I've been seeing all the pictures of people going to prom. Everyone is looking so pretty. Who else is out there? Ah! Ben says, Party Sunday, missing you, all the best. Yay. That's great. Yay, Mummy's birthday. Okay. There's one, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually can't be there, Ben, just so you know, because I'm here, and the event didn't end until 5 tonight. Kind of tricky. They kept everyone until 5, and they raffled off 2 tickets to Disney World. How to keep administrators and teachers and vendors there on a beautiful spring Friday afternoon. Raffle off tickets to Disney. Not that I was qualified and I couldn't participate, but it was still kind of funny. Anyway, so because I had to be here at 5, I decided I'm going to go see my sister tomorrow and in Pennsylvania, and then come home on Sunday, and then I have to go to Atlanta on the 5:30 a.m. flight on Monday morning. So, and it's my own choosing that I go that early because I like to get through TSA in a reasonable time. And you all, I'm sure, have heard on the news the ridiculous problems that we're having with TSA. And I sure wish we could get more people in helping us through those lines. Anywho, and my thoughts and prayers go out to the families of the latest crash of Egypt Air. Ugh. Just terrible. I have not heard the resolution, although I think as of Friday night when this is being taped, they have found some of the wreckage. So it's not like the Malaysian Airlines that was so freaky. Although, haven't they found a few pieces of that plane, the Malaysia Airlines plane? Like a door, I think I saw. Okay, 6. So we keep going around. That I'll tie in later. Okay. Ben, we had so much fun on Mother's Day going and walking around Pauley Hill. That was so fun. I love that tradition. Thanks for including us. And the picnic was a bonus. And of course, if I could remember what you had pickled, was it bamboo of some sort? The things I eat because of you. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let me get around this corner, and then I want to see who's out there and what you're all working on. I have some great pictures, including a bear, a tilde bear, that I can't wait to show you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then here. Three, four, five, six. Six. Here, we're getting there. There we go. This last one is, sometimes I'll catch or I'll not catch the loop just right. I'll have to redo it. Okay. There we go. Oh, I wonder if I goofed on that. No, I guess I didn't. The problem is I didn't follow the directions exactly. I should have done one more row of white on the front, and then these scallops would have been perfectly spaced. But if I did one more row of white on the front, it would not have fit the back. So I stopped, and I may regret that because now the scallops are always going to be off. But this is going to be used and dirty with food before we know it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I thought it would be more fun to do this scalloping than anything else. Okay, so now I'm doing my single, and now I go into the corner, and I do 10 doubles, and then I'll see who's out there. And again, I don't have much other news. Bob is still working on putting in the new floor in the studio at home. So I'm still, even when I'm home, you'll notice I'm still doing FiberCast from downstairs in the dining room. But he's making progress. He actually had to pull up the carpet because it had all sorts of construction debris. It was an indoor-outdoor cheap carpet that we put in order to get our living permit 10 years ago. And of course, it still has lots of the construction dirt. Plus, it has 10 years of a dog living there and peeing on it. So, which has become worse now that the dog has bad hips. It's a mess. So, and now you know my dirty laundry, our dirty laundry. The joys of living with a dog. So, of course, we're going to have little kitty fences once he puts the floor in. The dog is no longer allowed in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ugh. Hole is 6. Whoops. I think it's a riot, Jean, that you are watching from your hotel room. And I'm dying to hear how things are going. Are you exhausted yet? Did you drive down tonight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And did Sarah go to the prom, or did she miss that? It's a busy time of the year, that's for sure. I was invited to a wedding shower at the end of June, and I already know I can't make it because of my travel schedule. You just can't do it all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have 2 weddings this summer. 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more if I can get them in this hole. 9. Here we go. 10. I know crocheting isn't as much fun as quilting is to watch. Okay, so here's what we have so far. We're halfway done around, and I'll show you what it looks like on the back. All right, so we're going to do the other half, and then we'll have this slit in the back that we could put more padding in here. Maybe we will, but I think maybe I'm just going to sew it up, but we'll see. But before we do that, let's see who's out there. I'm going to pull up my iPad because there were a couple of pictures I wanted to show. Oh, and hello to Quilt Time. And Beth Allen, I wanted to congratulate you on a year's worth of programs. Very impressive. She does it every day. So she's done over 300 snippets of her life in quilting and sewing, from everywhere from South Carolina to the Blue Danube to other places around the world. And she might not be on tonight because she might be at a national park watching the fireflies. Really? Do people have exciting lives or what? And I'm not being facetious. I think that's great. I love that. Oh, speaking of Beth Allen, she says, so earlier I said in a previous email we were going to see fireflies in the wild and I would miss your show. Alas, fireflies might happen next week, so I'll be watching your show. Have a good one, Beth. Oh, good. Well, welcome. And do tell us about the fireflies. I love that. Pam, speaking of the polar bear, so Pam wrote last week about her Tilda polar bear, and this week she sent the photo. She says, I'm always doing that. My friends and family are always telling me off about leaving the photo off. And she says, I really enjoyed making the bear. The Tilda fur fabric is lovely and soft and silky. She says it was certainly worth paying for the right fabric. She said, I also made the ball with Tilda fabric. I'm sure if you decide to make him, you will enjoy it. I just need to think of a name for him. Any ideas? Ooh, well. Oh, I love him. Oh, he looks nice and well stuffed. He's kind of going forward. What's that? Ooh. I want something guttural. What could he? Oh, he's so cute. Oh, I don't know what to name him. I'm at a loss. Well, Blackie. Ironically, because he's white and your name is Black, your last name's Black. I don't know. Let's keep thinking about that. So Beth Allen does say TGIF and hello to the FiberCasters. And to our flying pecan, hi. She says TGIF for FiberCast. I would love to see someone make the chenille stitch they used to make the vintage chenille bedspreads that were sold in Georgia beside the road called Peacock Alley, US Highway 41. Some of the vintage bedspreads are being cut into small squares and sold to make baby quilts, pillows, and stuffed animals, and they are just so adorable, she says. Ooh, this is very interesting. So chenille bedspreads. She says some of the small squares can be a bit pricey, and this is why I've been interested in learning how to make the chenille stitch, and so I could make my own design. She goes on to say, I know bias tape can be used to get the chenille look, but after reading some of the history of the chenille bedspreads, I became interested in seeing just how the original stitches were made and to see if I could learn to make the stitches. Ooh, this is very interesting to me because I have another cheating way to do it with the flannel. Google vintage, she suggests, Google, as in the verb, vintage chenille bedspread pillows and click on images for a real treat. Ooh, so anyone out there who's interested in the chenille bedspread pillows, Google it. She says, here's some info on the chenille bedspreads. Ooh, I will read that. The folk method of tufting. She says, tonight I'm working on fitting a pant pattern so I can make a pair of culottes for the summer. Ooh, that sounds wonderful. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, says Mary Beth in San Antonio, a.k.a. our flying pecan, or pecan, whichever way you prefer. You know, I am going to check out your vintage chenille bedspread pillows. The only way I know of it is to sew multiple layers of flannel together and sew half-inch strips, say. Quilt it, half-inch strip. Quilt it in straight rows with a half-inch between the quilting rows. And then take a X-Acto blade, or they have the round rotary cutters with the blade in it, and run that in the channels between your stitching. And then the flannel, and those of you out there who know how to do this, you know I'm getting tongue-tied. You cut through all of the layers of flannel except for one that's your backing. That stays. And then you put it in the washing machine, and what happens is the flannel all poofs up, and it creates the chenille-like effect. But it's not the real thing. So I'm going to try something. I'm going to click here and see if it works quickly. Oh, and it does. Peacock Alley. What a funny name for a federal highway. Ooh, this is interesting. Times were hard in Gordon County in the early 20th century. This is she sent me this link, which I'll put on the Simply Colorful Facebook page, and it's about making these chenille bedspreads. Oh, how neat. There they are, working on them. Way down the bottom. Ooh, this is going to be funny. Fun, not funny. Gee. Times were hard in Gordon County in the early 20th century. Primarily a farming community, the area was settled by hard-working, proud people who sometimes only had one mule, a plow, and a few acres of land. If they were lucky, the farmers had land near the river, where they often plowed up evidence of earlier people and events. They might have found a shard of hand-formed pottery left when a vessel broke over an early Native American campfire in bottomland near a river, or a fragment of blue and white English ironstone discarded when the Cherokees began their sad trail of tears to the west. And it goes on. Candle wicking. The process of making spreads was based on a traditional craft called candle wicking. Now, my mother has done that, and I thought of that as lots of little French knots. Very interesting. I'll do more research. Everyone out there do more research, and let's see what we can come up with. Thank you, Mary Beth. Who else is out there? Joyce. Hi, Joyce. What a coincidence, she says. I just purchased yarn and hooks today and was going to practice since I haven't crocheted in years. Wonderful. It's supposed to rain quite a bit here in Maryland, so I thought it would be a good day to crochet. Absolutely. Thanks for FiberCast. I enjoy it. Have a great weekend, Joyce. Oh, thanks, Joyce. I'm so glad you're there. Ding! Hi, Maureen in Pennsylvania. Maureen says, here's my finished UFO, and I'm downloading it now. Hopefully it'll be faster than some of the past times. While it's downloading, I think I saw I did. Jean writes, yes, we drove down today. So she drove from Massachusetts to Bowdoin. Packed up the car with Maddie's stuff. Oh, no prom for Sarah or Molly. They're not juniors. But they stayed to see friends get ready for prom, and we'll get here late. Oh, my goodness. Molly turned 16 yesterday and got her permit. Oh, my goodness. Congratulations. Scary graduation Sunday, then home. Yes, exhausted, but so proud and happy for Maddie. Summa cum laude. Congratulations. That's wonderful. Wow. Oh, Maureen and PA, look at what you have made. Love that. Can everyone see that? Ben actually would really like that. He is an expert hunter. Oh, that's so fitting for Pennsylvania. Look at you with your deer tracks. I love this part. See the deer tracks in the corners? Oh, Maureen, that's great. Congratulations. Oh, Gay. Hi, Gay. Good evening, Lynn and all. She says, what a hectic week. Haven't had time to do much sewing, so tonight's the night to get started again. Good. Went to my great-grandson's preschool graduation Tuesday. Had a good time. Working on a new project tonight, so better get busy. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you, Lynn, for giving me inspiration to get started sewing and crocheting again. Oh, I'm so glad. You're welcome, Gay. Thanks for being here. Ooh, Lorna, how are you? She says, wishing everyone a happy Friday. I don't know how you do it. You're doing FiberCast on the road. It's become easier, hasn't it? Remember how many times we have tried it and we've had technical difficulties? I can't believe this. Things are improving. Watch, it'll go down now. No, it won't. She says, I want to say thank you for your dedication to FiberCast and to all of us. You're a very selfless person. Thank you again for making my Friday evening so enjoyable, Lorna. Thanks for I appreciate that. Kathy, KK, out in Illinois, she says, happy Friday to all. Nothing new to say, but hello. Well, hello. We'll do one more, and then I need to get back to my crocheting. Stephanie, hi, from Missouri. She says, just joining you all. Hope all is well. Stephanie, so glad you are. Excellent. All right, let me keep going, and then we'll read some more. Okay. So I'm halfway done. We should be able to get around this the other half, right? We should be able to very easily. Let's see. Okay. Now we do 6. You can get into a rhythm. Joyce, I'm so curious to see what you're working on. You know what else I forgot? It's relatively inexpensive to get started back into crocheting, especially if you're doing it with acrylic, or this cotton isn't that expensive really, comparatively to, say, hand-spun fibers or hand-dyed wool fibers. Or the more exotic fibers, and you know, it's like riding a bike, I think. You just kind of pick it up and you realize, oh, I can make something with my hands. We have on our bed, I think I've told everyone this before, Deb, if you're out there, hi, and Carol, if you're out there, hi. All of the cousins, of which they're cousins, got a bedspread. And actually, we've gotten a couple from a couple of different aunts and grandmothers. So Bob got a couple of bedspreads, and we use those intermittently on our bed. And I made a bedspread it was one big granny square, and I made it after college, but not very far after college, so like in the late 80s. 92, so it's almost 30 years old. Do you know that thing? We wash it, and we put it back on the bed. There aren't holes in it. It really, it must have been sewn up pretty well, all the extra threads. It stood the test of time. And that was made with acrylic, probably from Joann's. Nothing fancy. And I can remember making it, and I just went around and around and around and around. Oh, and I had some other things to tell you. There's a girl in Grafton, which is near our hometown, and she wrote such a nice letter to our Quilt Guild, and I'll pull up her letter in a minute if I can find it. She's going for the highest level gold award for the Girl Scouts. It's the equivalent of the Boy Scouts Eagle Scout badge. And turns out she and her twin sister were preemies. This is really a fun story, and very well done on her part. They were preemies, and when they were born, they were given a quilt. And she doesn't say which hospital. I don't know if it was Milford or Framingham or in Boston, or maybe Worcester. Anyway, 16 years later, she wants to give back. So they were given quilts when they were preemies in the hospital, and she has kept that quilt to this day. And she wants to do the same for other preemies in a neonatal care unit, and she's looking for, I think maybe she's looking for people to make some, which if she is, I'll make her a quilt, or supplies. I know that Karen had some extra batting that she got from Jean and Kelsey and Chris, and she was going to share the batting with her. So isn't that a great idea? And I love that Girl Scouts are still around. They're such a good way to keep craft alive, to keep the maker movement alive, to keep just community service. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wish I had done more with Girl Scouts. Somehow I didn't do as much as I should have or could have. My mother was very big into it for a long time, and she was a scout leader when we were growing up, at least for some of it. And I know I got to cadet, but then I didn't do much after becoming cadet. I wish I had. Look at that. We're almost 3/4 of the way through. But that's okay. I played sports, or a sport. And I worked on the newspaper, not the newspaper, the yearbook. I was busy enough, I guess. And I had to have time. Even back then as a kid, I had to have time to sew. In fact, I can remember my cousins, not Ben. Ben was never, he was always so kind. But his brother, Davies, would make fun of me because I would sew on a Friday night rather than go out. Not every Friday night, but some Friday. Kind of funny. Anyway, now this corner where you have to do 10 in one little, this is tricky. Because I've made a mess of lots of knots here. This is not what expert crocheters would do, I'm sure. So I'm trying to make a hole on both sides and then go through that hole 10 times, and it gets pretty full. So there's 1 time, 2 times. Okay, I think we've done it. 3 times, 4. Oh, Lorna, I'm so glad you're out there. What a nice note. Are you doing any of your retreats again? Isn't this the time you do retreats? 1, 2, 3. Chris, if you're out there, Jean is winning. I've used her name more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here we go. We're on a roll. 9, 10. Oh, I have to tell you about being delighted by my hotel here. There's 10. Sometimes things just work out, and I have to tell you, yesterday, driving down here in the beautiful sunshine and getting through the city of New York, I was feeling pretty proud of myself that I had done it, you know, and of course I had tunes on in the car, and I had my Bluetooth so I could call people, so I had some good conversations with friends, and it was just an overall good trip. And I got here, and this is a Homewood Suite. It's a Hilton. It's a chain, but it's clearly brand new. And honestly, they said to me, they welcomed me, said, your room's ready, here you go. And she said, and by the way, dinner's free here tonight. Who has ever heard of that? They were serving a full meal right downstairs here at the Hilton Homewood Suites. I was shocked, for free. Not just breakfast, but dinner. So I was delighted, and I did eat it. I mean, it wasn't great. It was like a chicken cacciatore type thing. They called it Asian, but it wasn't very Asian-y, really. But they had rice, a salad. Okay, so here we go. One. So how's that for being delighted? Two. And the pool isn't open because of course, it's not even Memorial Day here. But people must stay here. In fact, this room I'm in it's like a studio apartment. It actually has a kitchen right over there. And people must stay here for long periods of time. In fact, one man brought down his burger that he cooked himself on the grill outside, which is also a nice feature. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let me do one more of these, and then I want to go see who else is out there. Three, 4, 5, 6. Ding! I love when we hear the ding. Okay, so now we just have literally this bit to do. Now when it looks like a huge potholder, but I think it'll all shrink down. It'll be good. Who's out there? Oh, Chris! Hi, Chris! Just logged in 5 minutes ago. Did Jean pay you for the shout-outs? No, she did not. No, but she's watching from her hotel room in Pennsylvania. And I was going to call you on my trip down here yesterday, but you were at work, and I didn't think that was very good to bother you at work because it was during the day. But I'm glad you're out there. And I'm sorry I can't be with you tomorrow on your trip. I think you might be going to Barrington for a sale. I think, if you're still going. Let us know how you make out. So, let's see. Oh, let me go back to this. I'm so glad you're out there. Chris. You guys must be even now. Okay. Oh, Joyce wrote, Mom, this is for you. Joyce says, happy birthday to Lynn's mom. She says she hopes you have a great day. A wonderful day. Thanks, Joyce. Linda, hi. Linda says, I'm just sewing some strips tonight for a future project. Remember my Bali wedding star quilt? Well, I finished the binding, and next week we travel to Copenhagen to present it to our young friends, and of course for a nice 2-week visit. Oh, that sounds wonderful. I won't be able to catch you for a few weeks, as from Copenhagen we're going to Paris for a week. Oh, that sounds wonderful. I will miss my Friday evenings with all the FiberCast clan. I hope everyone is getting ready for a fabulous summer. Your quilting buddy, Linda G. from Quilt Haven in Claremont, California. Well, Linda G., you have to take pictures and you have to tell us how it goes. I've never been to Copenhagen. That sounds fabulous. And, of course, Paris. There's nothing wrong with Paris. Oh, have a blast. Eileen. She's calling it sharing. She says, I found you today and watched you hook a yellow rose. Oh, she said, I quilt and hook, so I also got a lot accomplished while you did your rose. Wow, I have to pull that out again. That was that show where I don't think I talked very much, did I? Which could be a good thing. She says, I'm working on a family rug of myself and my 9 grandkids in Maine. Last summer watching fireworks. Oh, what a great idea. Are you silhouetted against the fireworks? So glad to have your company on Friday evenings, Eileen. Oh, Eileen, please send us a picture of your quilt when you're done. I mean, your hooked rug. Yikes. I'd love to see that. Ginger Rose. Hi. I'm so glad to have actually remembered to tune in tonight. I know what you mean. Dinner will be ready in a few minutes, and I'm knitting on yet another pair of socks now that I have finished the pair for my friend. Good for you. This was, so Ginger traded some socks for some work, if I remember right. She says, one of my crocheter friends makes pot holders shaped like yours, but without the flowers. I'll have to share your creation with her. Oh, please do. As I say, the free pattern. So if anyone is interested, get a pencil. And what you do is you go to freevintagecrochet.com, freevintagecrochet.com, all one word. And then the pot holder I'm making is floral pattern pot holder 9470. And it is in color on the site. And I've got another color. Oh, the single rose one. That one's fun to do. I've gotten some other patterns here. And again, they're all free. They're great. Oh, so Ginger Rose. Oh, I love this picture. She says, have a wonderful weekend. And she says, yay, it's Friday night. Ginger in Mississippi. I am so glad you sent this picture. Get ready for this. Oh, what is your cat's name? And doesn't he or she, is it a he or a she? Does she get into the yarn and into the thread like most cats I've ever known have just loved it? In fact, there's a funny thing floating around Facebook right now with two cats, and they're at a computer, and they say, what? We're shopping for yarn. Do you want anything? It's quite funny. Ooh, I love those. Love those socks. Maybe this is Cindy. Cindy, is this you? She says, maybe you can try to craft somewhere in every state. I like that. In fact, I saw Sue Norton she has a way to track which state she's been in, and she just knocked off Texas. So maybe between the two of us and a bunch of us here on FiberCast, we could do it. Oh, and Marquet, I'm so glad you're out there. I meant to say hi to you and Norma. Marquet says, my finished veterans lap quilt. Oh, I can't wait to share this. She says, hello, Lynn and the gang. Hope everyone is having a great Friday and doing something that makes you happy. Here is the finished veterans lap quilt, finally. Like I said, it isn't perfect, but it's finished. Not sure if you saw it on Facebook or not. I did, and I like it a lot. I'm going to share it with everyone in a minute. She says, I'm working again on those Dutchman puzzle blocks. Had to stop on them because I've been running my mom back and forth to the doctor. Oh, they found she has vertigo, and I've been taking her to therapy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, aw. She says, you're amazing, Lynn, with all the craft stuff you know how to do. Oh, that's nice. Did you see Norma's new haircut? No. Ooh. And the new spring rain tutorial from Jenny Doan and Missouri Star Quilting. Both are very nice. Ooh, thank you for the tips. I'll check out Norma's haircut. And it's the spring rain tutorial from Jenny Doan and Missouri Star. My prayers with all the families in the Egypt airline crash. So sad to hear of tragedies like this. If the dog is a male, what about Reno? Oh, are you talking about the bear, you mean? The one the Tilda bear, maybe? Well, hope you have a safe flight home and have a great weekend, your sewing buddy, Marquet. You have to see this quilt is made from her denim jeans. Love that. And it must have been, you must have used one of your vintage machines to get through that thickness. And it must have been quite a challenge to work through all those thicknesses. That's a big project. Oh, and she says, sorry, I forgot to say that I love your new haircut. Well, thank you. Your pretty blouse you're wearing and that crochet block is beautiful. Love the flowers. Is that going to be a purse or a pillow cover? Well, it's going to be a pot holder, believe it or not, because it's going to shrink, and then literally it should be, and it'll mat down, and it should be good just to use for pot holder. Now maybe it'll be more a decorative one, but I'm going to try and use it. Ah, If the dog is all white, what about Casper? Ah, there we go. There we go. Okay, good night, Marque. Good night. Thank you. What a nice note. Oh, I love to know you're all out there. Okay, in the few remaining minutes that we have here, and I hope you all have either enjoyed or multitasked or worked on your project, because it's amazing what we get done, and I'm going to be thrilled to finish this up on FiberCast. May 20th, 2016. Who would have thought? Next week, I will be home. Now, how did I do that? Next week, we'll be back home in Massachusetts. And, Maddie will have been graduated, and I'm sure christenings will have happened, and communions. It is going to be a busy time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I do a single. And then I do 6. Oh, good, the 10's already done in the corner, so I don't even have to do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then we do a single. And we do 6. Oh, this is going to be funny. Again, because I didn't follow the pattern exactly. It's going to be a little wonky, but that's okay. 2, 3. So, do something for yourselves. Do something that makes you happy. Maybe challenges you. Maybe, anything. Don't let the turkeys get you down. 3, 4. Oh, I keep missing that last one. Almost done. 3 more. 5. We'll do 1 here. Oh, and then we have to do the loop to hang it on. Well, I think we are at 9 o'clock. So with that, let me show you what we have done tonight. See how it's a little askew? But once we put that in the washing machine and we block it, we will have a nice pot holder. So thank you all for joining. Thanks for your emails and for your shout outs. Have fun wherever you are. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday night on FiberCast. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining.